Welcome to Shor Machshov on the Daf. Shir is Lelui Nishmas, my Rebbe, Rav Moshe Shapir Zatzal, whose yortzeit is an Asur B'Tevis. We're holding in Zevachim Daf Kufei. The Gemara in the top of Mudala brings a question of Rabbi Lezer: if Purim and Seir and Yisrofim that went out of Beis Hamikdash and went back, do they cause tumah or not? And the Gemara discussed what does it mean. But the Gemara says, why should they not cause tumah? Once they came back, they came back. Explains Rashi. It's as if they never left the Beis Hamikdash. And the Gemara goes on to conclude that for somebody who's inside Beis Hamikdash, for sure it's not metamim godim, because it says it needs to be someone standing outside. So Rav Reuven Margoliyos brings a very clever raya from here to the following discussion. Rav Reuven is in the Sefer Nefesh Chaya on the Shulchan Aruch Tzimin Tav Kuf Mem Vav, regarding the halachas you're not allowed to marry in Chol HaMoed. So the din is brought down over there is that to return a wife that was a grusha, machzir grusha, you could do in Chol HaMoed. And the idea, it's not considered to be a real new wife. He connects this to the discussion regarding the people that go to war that says anybody who has a new wife, isha chadasha, doesn't go to war. And anybody who has a bayis chadash doesn't go to war. So you learn from there, chadash means only something which is new. But if it's a machzir gushasoi, or a house that someone sold and bought back, so that's not considered to be chadash. When it says chadash, coming to exclude this, and he argues there in the Mishnah Melech that wants to differentiate between isha chadasha and a bayis chadash. Then Reuven Margoliyos goes into a discussion. Something that goes back to its original state, is that considered to be new? Or that's considered to be that you're going back to where you were before? So he brings a raya from our Gemara that you see that we said that once the Purim and Yisrofim went back to Beis Hamikdash, they go back to their original state. Kivanda hadur. And he says that's the maskana of the Gemara. That's when nobody's metame in Beis Hamikdash. So you see that it's not considered to be a new stage. It's considered to be that you are going back to where you were, just continuing the previous mahalach. But then Reuven Margoliyos goes on to bring several rayas that say that no, when a person goes back to where it was, it's not considered to be a continuation, it's something new. One of the rayas says, if someone left dirt in Rishus Rabim, someone else came, picked it up, and put it back, so even though it went back to its original state, it's considered to be a new hanacha. Then he brings a raya that says, al Mitzrayim. So who was it? Says the Medrash, it wasn't a new king, it was just Paroi that they brought him down, and then he brought him back to be king. So he's considered to be new. So there's many rayas to say that when something goes back, it starts again, it's something new. And the Chura, from our Gemara, you don't see a raya at the opposite. Because our Gemara, the Gemara says very clearly, is it considered to be they went back? Says the Gemara here, there's a special din that you have to come back to the machane. Anybody who's inside in the machane doesn't have to ask God. Adarabba, the Gemara still has a suffix. The part of the that came back and someone is standing outside and holding with poles, this became tameh because it's not considered back. They consider it's a new beginning, but it's a continuation of what was before. It's considered to be that it's already outside. So Adarabba, it's not so clear what's the raya from our Gemara. Now this discussion of Nefesh Chaya connects to something big Indian davar amak me'od legabe avodah, because legabe adam who does a chet, and then he comes and does Teshuvah. Does he go back to his original state? So the Vilna Gaon in Tikkun Zohar Tikkun Unches says in a very, very short sentence. And then the Leshem in Sefer Hadeya Chelek Beis Rosh Dalet is marichin it a little bit more, and so does the Pachad Yitzchok in Yom Kippur and Maimer Yud Aleph. And the idea that comes out of it is the following. Generally, when a person does an Aveira, does Teshuvah, he does not go back to his original state. He starts a new mahalach. That's why Adam Arisha did a chet. He did Teshuvah, but he still has Misa Lo Yulazara. He doesn't go back to where he was before. Reuven did a chet, did Teshuvah, but he still lost the B'chorah. Moshe Rabbeinu did a chet, did Teshuvah, he still didn't go to Eretz Yisrael. And so on and so forth, that's usually the klal. There's one exception to the rule, and that is by David HaMelech. David HaMelech, the Gemara tells us in Moed Katan, Shehikim Ulo Shel Teshuvah. He made the yoke of Teshuvah. What does it mean? It says the Vilna Gaon, he was the only one who through a big avodah was able to get back to his original state. Meaning, in general, when a person does something and does an aveira, you can't just erase the aveira. Teshuvah is a build-up from the aveira. And it's a process. But a person in the beginning is not able to go back to where he was. And eventually, the Aveira will be a stepping stone to get to a higher place. So when a person goes back, it's a new mahalach. It's a new derech. It's not just going back to where you were before. It is considered to be chadash, as the Rav Reuven Margoliyos brings many rayas. That's the din in many places in Shas. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shomachshava Shiurim, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.